There is one thing, there's one type of scrap that I absolutely hate. And to start with, there's not that much. You got the cords, a little bit of cord inside, maybe a small grain board, maybe some aluminum, maybe not. It's just a lot of scrap, a lot of time. Well, it don't really take that long, but I hate doing that. That and toasters. Toasters the same thing. And I gotta pick them up when I see them, you know. It's something, but I sure hate messing with these things. And every one of these works. The problem with these things, the pitcher, the bowl, or whatever you want to call it, is broke. The coffee pot itself is broke. And to buy a new one, it just ain't worth it. Just go buy a new pot. And I know all these work because I run water through them, and it'll run it right through. And this one here, this is a Mr. Coffee, and the clock on here works and everything. This is a Mr. Coffee. Clock works on this one. This one's just a pretty simple one. But I hate taking these things apart, but I might as well go ahead and get it done. There's a toaster out there too. I might ought to get that. Anyway, I hate it with a passion doing these things. It's just not that big of a reward. Just not. And there's a lot of plastic. A lot of plastic. There's a little bit of steel or aluminum. I suppose first thing, cut the cords. Cut the plugs. Up. Cut the cord. Cut the plug. Cut the other cord. Cut the other plug. I've been told that these plugs on these ends are zinc plated brass. I don't know if that's so or not. Anyhow, let's see what I need here right off the bat. Right off the bat, I suppose you know what? I got something I like to do with these things if I don't see screws right off the bat. Hammer time. Another thing about these things is ow. Woo! Piece flew off there. Well, I won't tell you where it hit me. It got me. Almost like it aimed for it. All right. So that's what I'm talking about, folks. You see, there ain't a whole lot to these things. They do make a lot of mess. All right, got that part. Wire. You know, there's a green board in there. Lay that aside for a minute. There's not wire. Just not a lot. But they sure make a lot of mess. Okay. What y'all barking at? There's not a lot to taking these things apart. Now there's some people would not bust these things apart like I'm doing. They gotta be neat. You know, they wanna be very neat about it. And I really can't see the point to that. I mean, it just takes you longer. I'll clean up the mess later, I promise. Alright, there's that part. Now, Poot, Virginia. I can't answer that. That's my brother, and he'll call back later. That's trash. Now, got this other little green board in here. Alright, that's trash. Little insulated board there. I wonder if that screw. Yeah, I hate these things with a passion. I suppose that's worth 10 cents a pound, unless you want to send it to board sort, but by the time you pay shipping and everything, 10 cents a pound sounds good. Anyway, this is aluminum, but it has a core of some kind in it. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about doing. Well, I don't know if that's a copper core in there. That looks like a copper core in there. I was thinking about maybe one day making me up another thing to melt aluminum and throw these things in a crucible and melt all the aluminum off and skim the copper and steel and stuff off of that. But out of that coffee pot, I got one cord with a plug. I got that, little bit of wire. So you see, that's why I hate these things. You don't get that, but you can't throw it away. It's scrap. You're supposed to be recycling and keeping it from the landfill. So anyway, that's what I got out of that sucker. And I got a pile of trash over there. See all that? Well, that one piece is not a coffee pot, but the rest of it, that's all coffee pot. So, well, I did get this too, but it's just low copper burn wire. It's not, I forget what they call it. But there you go. Now, what did I do? There it is. There it is. Some subscriber told me why did I quit telling stories. I've not really quit telling stories. I don't know. I hadn't done it. Been busy with the hospital, you know. But a feller that I was in basic training with, people, well, not people, a subscriber said, how come I don't tell stories anymore? And I don't know. I just ain't told none. I've been busy with the hospital, going in and out, and all that stuff. Hadn't been up to snuff, but I was talking to a guy yesterday that I was in basic training with in 1959, and we was in the same company and everything. And he was talking about different things that happened during basic training. And he said, do you remember that poor Smuck? And he said, Smuck, that dropped a live hand grenade in the pit when he was practicing throwing them. And I said, yeah, I remember it. But I didn't discuss it too much further with him. That poor Smuck was me. I guess he forgot. Of course, it's been, what, 55, 60, 59 years ago. But you have to qualify with everything in basic training. You know, with your rifle and all that stuff. And I was an expert rifleman. But those hand grenades, they start you out. You get down this pit and you practice pulling a pin on a dummy one and throwing that thing out there in the field. Then when they think you got it down pat, you get to throw a live one. I mean, a live fragmentation hand grenade. Thing can kill you. And and I got my turn up there, and I swear, to this day, I don't know what happened. I pulled a pin on that thing, man. I was a regular G.I. Joe, and I was going to shoot that thing out there a few yards, and then duck down in the pit. Trouble is, I pulled a pin, and as I was going to draw back like that and throw that thing, my hand hit the front of the pit wall that I was in, and knocked that. I'd already pulled the pin and knocked that thing slap out of my hand. And when your hand lets go of that little primer thing goes over and pops that primer, and you've only got a few seconds before that thing goes off. And that training sergeant that was down there with me, it took me a second or two to realize what happened. I wasn't clearing the thing, and he jerked me out of there hollering live grenade or something, and that thing went off in the pit. And I had to go back about a week later and throw it again. I did all right that second time. But boy, I'll tell you what, I'll never forget that Sergeant Pearson. He was a black sergeant. And one time, I had another black sergeant when I was in Germany, and it was when the Berlin Wall went up, and of course, we was right there on the east and west German border, And we didn't know what was going on. All we know we was going on alert. They put the wall. We didn't know what was going on. We had an alert area we go to, and it's up on top of a mountain. And at that time, I was driving the small arms truck, you know, hauling machine guns and small arms and stuff like that. There was also a water trailer on the back of that thing I was pulling too. And them hitches on them things, they're not like ball hitches, they're swivel hitches. And I hit a bad place in the road and flipped, and that water trailer's full of water too, big old trailer. And flipped that trailer completely, it just flipped completely upside down. And I was dragging that thing up the mountain on them rocks and stuff. And my Sergeant Nam, another black sergeant, Sergeant Charlie Lofton. And of course I wasn't going fast, couldn't go fast. Directly I seen him running up beside the truck there hollering, "Pearson, Pearson, stop! Just look behind you." The trailer was upside down, all the water was gone. He said, "You're the dumbest white man I ever saw." At that night, I suppose I was. I suppose I was. I liked him, Mr. Lofton. Sergeant Lofton, he was a pistol. But, dumbest white man I ever saw. God, back in the day, I'd like to do all that over again. I'd love it. Had a ball. Anyway, there's your two stories for today. Maybe I'll have another one tomorrow. Well, I got a couple that I don't know if I'll tell them or not. I'll think about it. See you in the next video.